Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is the Ray Edwards website workshop where we're going to actually show you how to set up a website just like Ray Edwards live. So this is going to be a bunch of fun. So obviously Ray Edwards, who you have probably heard of, is a copywriting and marketing expert. You can find more out. You can learn more about Ray Edwards over at his beautiful website over at rayedwards.com. My name is Thomas McGee, and I'm the founder of Notable Themes. I'm also a graphic designer and a website-based or a WordPress-based website designer and developer. So today, like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to jump right into just demoing Ray's website, how to set up a website just like Ray Edwards. But before we do that, let's go ahead and jump right into a message from Ray.
Hey gang, it's Ray Edwards here. And you know, one of the questions I get most frequently these days is, how did you get that website? Where can I get a website like that? And I've had to tell people that rayedwards.com was custom designed and that the only way to really replicate it would be to get a designer to build it for you. But now we've got a better solution. And Thomas McGee is the guy who built this website to my specifications. And it's maximized for email conversions, to build your email list, for authority establishment, for the ability to sell products, and so many more features that are built into the website that you don't maybe see initially when you look at it. But as you dig a little deeper under the hood, you realize, man, this site has got a lot of cool features that somebody who has a personality-based or personal brand-based business really needs in their website. So what I'd like to do today is introduce Thomas and tell you that I paid him a lot of money to build this website for us. And now he's going to show you how you can replicate and build a website just like mine. And it's not as hard to do as you might think. In fact, it's quite easy given the technology we have available for you today. So check this out. I'm going to turn it over to Thomas now and let him show you exactly how to do this. Thomas, it's all yours, buddy.
Okay, so like Ray said, we're going to be diving into setting up a website just like Ray Edwards. But first I wanted to mention, so why is it that we would want a website just like Ray Edwards? Now, I've worked with a lot of different clients. I've worked with, obviously, Ray. I've worked with Michael Hyatt. I've also worked with Grant Baldwin and Jeff Goins and a lot of other people who are creating personal brand-based businesses. And what a lot of people run into is that it's just extremely difficult to set up a website that solves specific problems like building your email list, like selling products and things like that. So let's go ahead and dive right on into the demo now. And let's take a look at what it's like to build a WordPress website just like Ray Edwards from the ground up. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Ray Edwards really quick, his website, just so you can get a quick look at what we're going to be building today. So this is his front page. He's got a nice logo here in the top left-hand corner. He's got his navigation with a nice hero image, a primary call to action, a secondary call to action. His latest article or his latest podcast is here, things like that. So in addition to that, he also has what's called a welcome mat. And this is a great way to be able to introduce new website visitors into who you are and what you do. So again, it's got his primary call to action. And again, this can change regularly. Ray's constantly doing new workshops and releasing new products. So he's able to showcase that here on his welcome mat. Obviously, he's got some nice social proof here. So a nice testimonial from Michael Hyatt, a welcome video from Ray himself. Again, another testimonial from Pat Flynn, his secondary call to action, links to specific places across his website. And this is key because a lot of times what people are facing when they reach a website for the first time is your latest posts, right? And that's not necessarily what's going to be useful for somebody who's just starting to get to know you. Ray is helping people solve specific problems with the portal links they shows on his welcome page. Lastly, he features some of his top products. Again, see, for so many people, you've either got this extreme of they hide their products and you can never see them, or they are built on a Shopify website. They're just somewhere else. And again, people just don't know that they even exist. Again, we got a nice testimonial here from Amy Porterfield and then the navigation. So one of the questions we get from time to time is, so why would you put the navigation at the bottom? We've noticed that conversion rates are significantly higher on a welcome page if you put the navigation at the bottom, because at this point you have a much higher likelihood that somebody's going to sign up for your workshop or watch your video or read some testimonials. The idea is that by the time we visit, we hit the bottom of this page, we know a lot about Ray. He's already built some social proof with us. Maybe he's signed us up for his free course by the time we get to the bottom. Now, the nice thing is, once we get to the bottom and we click home, from now on, we're only going to hit this when we go to rayedwards.com. We're going to see his latest content because at that point, we know who Ray is. Okay, so I just wanted to give that as a quick overview. Now let's get to building. So this is just a standard WordPress install. The only thing I've really done here is I've installed a couple of plugins. One, just to kind of port in some dummy content, just so you can kind of see what this looks like live. And the second one is our Notable Themes plugin. The Notable Themes plugin just enables me to actually install the theme that we're going to be working with here today, which is, of course, Authority. So I'm going to go ahead and click Install, and we're just going to give this a moment here to install, and it's going to refresh once it does. So it says complete, it refreshes, and then we see this turned light blue, and we know that it has been installed. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop on over to Appearance. And we'll see here we've got Ray Edwards Authority theme here. I'm just going to click Activate, and we're good. Okay, so this isn't very exciting. We haven't, this isn't really much to look at yet, but don't worry. We're going to go through and we're going to start customizing this piece by piece. So to get started, the first thing I want to do is click this Customize tab up here in the top left-hand corner. And the amazing thing about Authority is that it's been built in such a way as to make just about everything customizable through the Customizer tab. So you can see everything live, updating as we're working on it. And you can even schedule out. WordPress is enabled. It just recently released a new feature that enables us to schedule out changes that we make to the style of our website. So let's go ahead and take a look first at the imagery section of our site. So first thing we want to do is we want to pop in a logo. We'll select a nice hero area image. So the hero area, so we've got a hero banner and then we've got a secondary banner. The hero banner is going to be the bigger one that shows up on the front page. The secondary banner is going to be a little bit thinner, and this is going to show up on all of our content, so on all of our blog posts. So let's go ahead and select that. And you're not going to see any change here because right now we're looking at the front page. Okay, so we'll go ahead and click Publish. And now let's make some other changes. What we need to do now is we need to start configuring some menus. So as we can see up here, it's blank. Again, pretty blank, not much to look at. So let's go ahead and start changing that. So the first thing we want to do is jump over to our locations. So our primary navigation is going to be up here in the top right-hand corner. I've already created some menus within WordPress, so I'm just going to assign those menus I created to the various places within the theme. So as you can see here, it populates up here. A secondary menu, the neat thing about Authority as well is that we've created something called a secondary menu that shows up just below this hero area. What this is for is highlighting specific topics that you are proficient in. So if you do blog posts on, business and marketing, or if you do things specifically on productivity, you can highlight the specific topics that are relevant to you, and it works kind of as a secondary navigation. So let's go ahead and add that. And as you can see, it pops right in there automatically. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can also assign a footer, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank. So let's go ahead and publish that. Let's pop back over to the front end of the website. Okay, so we can see pretty quickly we're already starting to build this out. We've already got an image in there. We've got a secondary navigation. We've got our logo in there. Let's make one more other quick change. One of the things we've noticed from a usability perspective is that when you turn your far right hand, well, let me back up. The far right hand navigation item in most websites is the most clicked item. So what we typically recommend is actually making the far right hand navigation item very action oriented. So we want to make sure that that particular navigation item stands out. So we've actually added that as an option here in the Authority theme, where I can just click this to make the last nav item a button. And as you can see, it automatically turns into a button, just that simple. Okay, so now there's a few theme settings we need to go ahead and change so we can start making this take shape a little bit more. In the authority theme, what we've built is something that is, actually first, before we do that, let's go ahead and change the layout of the site. By default, as you can see, the authority theme is laid out in kind of a long list of blog posts, which works. But what we've actually built in, and we've seen a little bit better usability for a lot of our users and readers to rayedwards.com, is the ability to lay this out like a magazine. So let's try that. So let's click Save Changes. And now you can see that it's totally transformed the front end of the site. So I've still got my nice hero banner, but now I've got a neat little featured post. This is the latest content. Then you see it adds in my secondary navigation here, and then a nice grid format for all my latest articles to follow. And again, that's just a matter of clicking a single button within the theme settings to lay out your site to follow this type of format. So let's go ahead and add something else in here though. It's really important, we've noticed, when it comes to building an online business type website, to have a primary or a fallback call to action, something that you can keep to kind of be your staple. So what I'm actually doing right here is I'm rebuilding the one that's on Ray's website. So this is our site-wide call to action. And this is a great place to enter in like your free course or your ebook or your white paper or video tutorials or whatever you're going to give as a lead magnet to incentivize people to join your email list. So let's pop in a nice little image to go along with that. And that works. Another great thing about Authority is that we have actually integrated this directly with ConvertKit. So I've entered in my API information, and now what I can do is I can actually select from a list of ConvertKit forms that I have created. Let's see, which one am I going to pick? Let's just do this one. So I can click and select from a list of forms that I have created in ConvertKit and then save changes to set up my site-wide CTA. Now, I've got some options here. I can put it on the front page. Yes, I want the CTA to show up on the front page, and I can also do a single post. What this means is that it's going to show up at the bottom of every blog post if I have this checked. So let's take a look. So here now on the front page, we see here that our form is showing up. There's some formatting issues here that I have to fix in ConvertKit. But as you can see, it just pulled that form directly in there for me. Now, let's say you're not using ConvertKit, you can pull in and embed any form you want. So if you're working in MailChimp or Aweber or Infusionsoft, you can pop that right in there, and any email form that you use will work in there. But if you work with ConvertKit, you can actually integrate your account directly with the theme itself. So as you can see, just in a few minutes, we've built out a whole framework. We've got the logo, we've got the navigation with our first primary call to action here, a repeat of that call to action here with this main hero image. And then we've got our secondary or site-wide call to action here. Now, if I were to jump into a specific blog post, we can see that call to action shows up here as well. Again, and you don't have to add in any extra code or embed anything into that page to make it work. Okay, so beyond that, as you can see, we've got a lot of different things set up here in terms of kind of the look and feel and the style and the framework. Now what we want to do is we want to begin to create the welcome page. Remember that we created a nice welcome mat for Ray Edwards, and you saw that over at rayedwards.com. So let's go ahead and pop over there. And to do this, I'm just going to create a new page, a regular old page in WordPress. We're just going to call this welcome. You don't have to actually add any content here, because what I'm about to do is probably one of the most useful and unique features about Authority, because we're going to create something that's called a widgetized page. So if you're familiar with WordPress, you've probably configured a sidebar before, and you've probably worked with widgets. Well, we've actually created the ability within the Authority theme to create pages that use widgets as building blocks to build out the page. So let's go ahead and do that. We've selected widgetized page. For the hero area, we want to use his big hero banner up there at the top of the page. We don't need a page heading. And we're going to select squeeze page. We don't want any navigation to show up on this page. We just want to build this completely with our widgets. So I'm going to click publish. For the front end, And we've got a nice blank canvas to work with, except obviously for this hero image at the top. Okay, so we've got our widgetized welcome page. Let's start building it. Okay, so the first thing we do is we click Customize. And then we're going to jump over here to Widgets. I click Welcome, and this welcome is the actual, what this is doing is it's actually showing the page that we're working on right now. So we click Welcome, and then we click Add Widget. And as you can see here, we've got a bunch of highlighted or yellow widgets here that are showing up in this panel. These have all been custom created for the authority theme. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start rebuilding right now the welcome page that is built over at rayedwards.com. So let's start with a testimonial. So our first testimonial is from Michael Hyatt. Go ahead and grab a photo. We want the image placement to be on the right. And there we go. We just made a testimonial. So let's keep moving. The next piece we want to create is a nice video of Ray. So let's do that. All I have to do for the video of Ray is just copy a nice embed code. So this can be from Vimeo, YouTube, Wistia, whatever service you use. All you need to do is grab a embed code. Now we notice here that these kind of blend together. So one of the things we can do with these authority widgets is we can actually pick a specific color scheme to fit this area. For this one, I want the tertiary color scheme, which is just going to turn it a light gray in this instance. Okay, so we're moving right along. Now we want to pop in another testimonial, this time from Pat Flynn. And again, we'll go ahead and grab the photo. And there you go. Another testimonial, just that easy. Okay. So now we want to go ahead and pop in. The next thing we're going to put in is, remember earlier we created that nice little site-wide CTA. Well, we can actually just stick that anywhere we want within our widgetized pages as well. So let's click that. And you'll see it pops it right in there. Let's go ahead and select primary to make sure it has that dark blue background. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to create something pretty neat, which I highlighted a little bit earlier, which is going to be a portal area. So the portal area is going to be where we highlight specific links. Again, this is going to be a good place to highlight useful resources or blog posts or courses that you do, or if you want to help people solve specific problems. I'm just putting in a kind of a blank link here. Now what this does is, you can see it's just got the text for now, but we can actually add an icon to each of these, and it pulls from something called the Font Awesome library. Font Awesome has just a ton of icons that you can pick from. At the current time, Authority doesn't support all of these icons, but it does support a vast majority of them. So in order to do that, you just got to find an icon that you want to use, and you're just going to want to find the code that goes along with it. They usually give you the code right here. And then we can just pick from a list. So for this one, let's just do envelope just for fun. So a clock. We'll do a pencil. I'm just going to do 3. The portal area actually allows you to do up to 6. But for just the sake of this example, I'm just going to do 3, just so you kind of get the idea of how that works. And there we go. Just that simple. I've created these nice little portal links. I didn't have to do any extra code or anything. Just pick the icon I want and specify where I want it to link. And you don't even have to link this within your own website. Again, if you have a course that you're selling or something, another third party, if you want someone to schedule an appointment with you via Calendly, again, you've got the possibilities there are really endless. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pop in our featured products. So we'll select this here. We'll see it's automatically pulled in some products I've already created. So I'm going to show you here real quickly. My latest products. We're going to go ahead and turn this one to be the tertiary color, which is going to be that light gray. I'm going to publish this and then take a look real quick at what this looks at, what we've built so far. So we've got the nice hero image, nice beautiful picture of Ray. Of course, we've got our testimonial from Michael Hyatt. Nice pick, another nice video of Ray. We've got, Pat Flynn testimonial. We've got our CTA. We've got our nice portal links, and then our latest products. But one of the things you might be wondering is, how do I get these products in here? So this is really simple within the authority theme. All I have to do is go into the admin, and you'll see here that we have a special type of post called products, and they're really easy to manage. So all you have to do is give it a nice title, a description, a nice image to go with it, and then where you want this to link. So you can link to Amazon, you can link to, again, a third-party course, and you can even use this for affiliates if you want to. And all I have to do is check this box that says featured products. And when I do that, that means it's going to show up within the widget. And of course, we were just working on that, so we can go ahead and see that on that welcome page we were building. Okay, so we're just about finished building this welcome page. And again, that only took a few minutes. So let's go ahead and jump back into customize and wrap it up. So all we have to do here is let that load, go ahead and create another testimonial. And this time from Amy Porterfield. Grab the byline. And then the photo, and we want the photo on this one again to be on the right. We're kind of alternating back and forth. There we go. Okay, and the last thing we need to build is, remember at the very end of the rayedwards.com front page, we had a nice navigation. So let's go ahead and pop that in there. And then what you get to do is you can give it a title if you want. This one we want to be the tertiary color scheme. And then from a drop-down, we just get to select which specific menu we want to highlight. So in this case, it's just going to be the main menu. And there you go. It pops it right in. And just like that, we're done. We just built a page just like Ray Edwards in a matter of minutes. It's got the same color style. It's got the same scheme. It's got the same testimonials, the same people. We didn't quite do 6 of these, so we took a small shortcut there. But that's just how quick and easy it is. And the great thing about Authority is this welcome page doesn't just have to be a welcome page. You can actually create as many widgetized pages like this as you want. So you can create sales pages. You can create splash pages, landing pages, webinar registration pages, and as many pages as you want, and build them just like I did this one. Now, one of the things we need to do is we need to configure this, because remember, when people hit our website for the first time, we want to redirect them to that welcome page for their first time visiting us. So that's really easy to do in the Authority theme. We just click Theme Settings, and we have this nice little option right here that says Welcome Page. And all we have to do is click here and then select the specific page we just created, which of course was welcome. Now all I have to do is click Save Changes. And let's go ahead and open up a brand new incognito window to see what would it look like if we were visiting this website for the first time. And you'll see I was just automatically directed to that welcome page I just created. So we're looking through. Then if I hit the bottom and I click Home, I'm at the home page. And if I refresh, you'll see it doesn't keep redirecting me. The site, the theme recognizes and remembers that you have visited the site before, so it's not going to keep showing you that welcome message. From that point on, you're going to see the latest content. Okay, so we've done quite a bit in a short amount of time, but there is one last, actually, you know what? There's 2 last things that we need to do. So when it comes to building your content, it's important to remember that a lot of people are going to be visiting your website for the first time through specific content that you create and you provide. That's why in the authority theme, we've created the ability to do a number of really conversion focused sidebar widgets as well, to almost kind of work as a secondary start page, so that you can give people a quick idea of social proof, who you are, the latest content that you've created alongside the content that you are providing them. Secondarily as well, we make this area, as you can see, this is smaller, but it's also clickable so that somebody can click. If we went to rayedwards.com, let's see how that works. If I were to go to Ray's latest podcast and say I saw this on social media, someone shared it. If I click this, it's going to pop up this thing for people to be able to register for his latest event. So again, there's a lot here that is conversion focused. So let's go ahead and pop back over here and let's start building out the sidebar. So again, just like we're creating that widgetized page, we're just going to click customize. And under customize, we're going to pop on over to widgets and sidebar. So let's go ahead and start popping some of these in. One of the neat widgets that we have built in here is, I never remember what it's called. No, that's total subscribers. That's what it is. And so total subscribers, what's really neat about this is you can either provide the specific number of subscribers you have, and you had seen that in the settings, or if you connect your ConvertKit account, it automatically pulls in the number of subscribers you have from ConvertKit, and it displays it here. So, and it rounds it nice and even so you can see, it's not a big long number. It just says 135K. So great social proof tool there. The next widget, and I'm actually just using Ray's website as kind of an example. Next thing we need to pop in here, let's see. We need to pop in. So Ray's got a couple of other things that I'm not going to highlight here. I'll show them to you, but I won't go through the time of actually setting up individual events. But what Ray has over here is he's got his social proof. He's also got his Facebook. So he's kind of got some extra things in there. Upcoming events are built into Authority. So you can add Authority, or you can add events to your site and then list them out here in order. We also, this is using a plugin that we have developed called Affiliate Boxes. So let's start building some of these out. So we're going to pop right on over to create. Right here, we're going to go ahead and create a portal link. So this portal, actually, before we do that, let's make this a little bit easier. One of the things I've done as I was working on this is I've installed a third-party plugin that's totally free, and it makes life a little bit easier when you're working with this sidebar widget. So it's called Widget Clone. So you might want to write this one down because it's really useful. Totally free. You can get it on the WordPress repository. It's called Widget Clone. I'm going to show you what this does and how we're going to use it to actually build out this sidebar quicker. You don't have to use this. It just makes life quicker. So here's what I'm going to do. Remember, we were working on that sidebar widget. This is the second area where you can manage widgets within your WordPress website. You can do it on the front end like we're just doing. This plugin works better here. So what I want to do is I want to go to my welcome page I created, and I want to duplicate some of these widgets. So the first one is I want to duplicate the portal. There we go. So we want to take the portal widget that we had created, and we want to clone it. So we're going to clone it, pop it over to our sidebar. So that works. Now what we want to do is, remember those testimonials we made with Michael Hyatt, Pat Flynn, and Amy Porterfield? We want to clone those as well. Those would be nice to have in our sidebar alongside everything else for some nice social proof. So let's go ahead and do that. So Michael Hyatt, Pat Flynn, and Amy Porterfield. And there we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at how that looks on the front end. As you can see, it's completely reformatted. Now we only created 3, so it's probably better to do 4 in this instance, or 6, because it's a little uneven, but it recreated that for us. And again, you can see it's taken that same content that we already created, and it's reformatted it for our sidebar. So you have that nice social proof. And again, it's all built in there for you. One last widget we want to add in here is the popular posts. This is a great way to showcase which posts you've created that are getting the most traction, that have the most comments on them. So I'm just going to click popular, put that up here. Now, and then you typically want to select the number of posts. So you could do maybe 7. And there you go. You see it's automatically listing out there our most popular posts. So let's go ahead and go back and see how that looks in context. So again, we've got those portal links right here in the sidebar. We've got our nice social proof for the number of subscribers, popular posts here, and again, more social proof here in the sidebar with duplicating out our testimonials. Okay, so there's just one last thing we want to do to get this looking good. Now, we've pretty much replicated almost exactly what Ray Edwards has. Now, there's a couple of other things we can tweak even before I move on to the last phase, which is, for example, our social links. Again, I'm just popping in here some sample links just so we can see this in practice. All I have to do here is just click these buttons, and these are going to show up right inside, right at the bottom of our site, at the bottom of every page. So that's one thing. Number 2 is what's something that's built into Authority by default is a nice social share bar. For most people, they always have to install like a third-party plugin for a social share bar. This is built right in. And you can either have it match the theme colors, or you can match the social network colors. You can also select where it shows up, if it shows up at all, and which specific social networks you want people to be able to share your content. So let's click Save. Let's jump to the front end. We'll go into one of the posts, and you'll be able to see here that now this share bar is built right in. It matches all those social share colors. And then if I were to scroll to the bottom of the site, you'll see now all my social links show up there as well. And that was super easy to set up. So let's go back to theme settings, go back to social. We want that to actually match the theme rather than the social network colors. And again, now you see it nicely matches the theme, and everything ties together nicely. So let's pop back over here. Social. This is one of the other things you can do is you can choose to show the whole blog post instead of just an excerpt. So those are one of the other features. You can also tack in here if you want to show an author bio at the bottom of every post. So if you got guest posters, it'll pull that in. Let's take a look at how that looks for Ray Edwards. So see here, it pulls in Ray's picture, shows also his nice bio that he's got popped in there as well. Okay, so there's just one last thing that we want to customize here, because we don't want the whole thing to follow Ray Edwards' color and brand, right? We each have our own color style. We each have our own brand. We each have our own typography that we want to use. So let's take a look at how we would change. Okay, so we're back to that welcome page. And one more time, let's go ahead and click Customize. This time, we're going to go into the color palette. The great thing about Authority is that I have worked with dozens. I've worked with so many other WordPress themes, and what they make you do is you have to go through and change color palettes for every page, every panel, every section, and it takes forever. With the Authority theme, you only have to work with a palette, 5 colors. If you change these, it changes the entire site for you. So let's see how that works. So let's say instead of the blue, I've got maybe a darker green that I work with, kind of a hunter green. Then let's say instead of the orange, I want to do maybe some sort of goldenrod. So that works. Let's scroll down a little bit so we can kind of see that a little bit better. That's a little bit too close to what we had there. So let's pull it up a little bit more. And I realize that the color may be a little bit different on your display. That's one of the issues with broadcasting live. And then let's say instead of the gray, we wanted to do some sort of maybe light tan or something like that. So that works. So already, almost instantly, you can see the entire color scheme is starting to change pretty dramatically. So now instead of a dark gray for our text. Let's maybe do some sort of like dark brown. So that works. Let that load. There we go. So just that simple, we've gone through and we've changed the entire color scheme of our site. So let's take a look at how that looks. So we'll go to the home page real quick. You'll see all the colors have changed. But one more thing we want to do is we want to begin to change the typography. So let's do that. In the authority theme, we've got two main typefaces that we can choose from. So what it does is it actually pulls from Google Fonts. Again, it doesn't have all Google fonts. It does pull from a lot of them. So we're always adding new fonts, but you literally have hundreds of typefaces to choose from. And so I've already got some. Obviously, it comes by default with these two. I can't pronounce that, but Merriweather is the other one. So you can go through and you can pick which typefaces you use. So let's go ahead and pick some to give it a little bit of a different look and feel. I'm going to go ahead and click publish. And you see with just a few clicks in just a few seconds, we've transformed Ray Edwards' website to look just a little bit more whimsical. So again, you got the dark green, you've got this interesting kind of curly typeface that almost, again, has kind of a whimsical look and feel to it. You've got a different typeface here. And there, like I said, there's literally hundreds of typefaces to choose from. And you see that all pulled in here. So let's jump back to the home page. And there you can see the navigation has changed to match. And again, this is just a few clicks and everything about the website has completely transformed. And again, when you go in here, you can also change out, again, this hero area. So that's maybe something we want to snag. Let's grab a nice new image so we can see that real quick. Pop that in there. And there you go. Again, you can start changing this imagery, just that simple. So the thing that I typically like to encourage when it comes to building a personal brand website, and you see that Ray Edwards has done it perfectly here, is that you want a picture of you. You want something that makes it very personal, that ties it to your brand. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be more important to have a nice picture of you than it is even to have a logo. A logo is great, but again, it's you who they want to interact with. So that's it for the demo. As you can see, it took a very short amount of time to build out a website. Now, one of the things I want to mention is that I've worked with multi-purpose website themes before, and it has literally taken weeks, sometimes months, to put together a website that doesn't even have half the functionality that Ray Edwards does at rayedwards.com. Okay, so what we just went through there was the authority theme. So the authority theme, as I mentioned, is something that was crafted specifically to help people building a personal brand do it easily. It's got all the tools that everybody already kind of needs to build an email list, as you saw, to easily sell products, to showcase social proof with testimonials and the number of subscribers that you currently have, things like that. And that's all built into the theme and made in such a way that you can set it up in just minutes. But one of the problems that we typically run into when it comes to building a self-hosted WordPress website like Authority is having to deal with the hosting and having to deal with setting up, your web, installing WordPress, dealing with the server. So what we've actually created is something called Notable Care. So Notable Care is a service that does a number of things that makes WordPress a lot easier to work with. So here's some of the things that are included in Notable Care. Notable Care has lightning fast WordPress hosting, which includes 20 gigabytes of SSD storage, 50,000 monthly visitors, and unlimited data transfer per site. Now, before your eyes glaze over, all that means is that we have a special type of hosting that we offer that is tailored to WordPress. You'll see all these other services out there that's just this kind of generic hosting, and you're not really sure, okay, sure, it's like 20 cents a month, or it's like $1 a month, but it's not tailored for WordPress. This is actually, these servers are actually fine-tuned to run WordPress extremely efficiently. It also has built into it a number of things that are essential when it comes to running a WordPress website, like automatic core updates. So WordPress itself updates automatically. It doesn't update all your plugins. That still has to be done on a manual basis, but it does update WordPress itself regularly, which is essential when it comes to security and everything else. It also has built-in automatic site backups. So things that a lot of people are installing extra plugins for, our Notable Care service actually has built directly in. Also offer priority email support on all Notable Themes products and all WordPress specific questions. So most themes that you buy out there on the marketplace today, they'll give you some support for a couple of weeks about the specific theme that you purchased. What we offer with Notable Care, however, is ongoing support, not only for all of the Notable Themes products that you have purchased, but also all Notable or all WordPress questions that you have as well. So it just gets tough. Sometimes you get stuck. You're just like, how do I, schedule out a post, or how do I embed a video, or things like that? We answer, and we've got WordPress pros on staff to help with every question that you might have. And by far, the most valuable aspect of Notable Care is its ongoing feature additions and updates to any purchased Notable Themes product. So for example, if you were to get the Authority theme, just like Ray Edwards, Ray is continually adding new features to this theme. I work with Ray pretty closely to make sure that this theme is continually improving, because as the market changes, so does the theme to be more effective. And as we test different features out and as we add new things, a Notable Care subscriber is going to get every single feature that Ray adds to his website. You get to, so long as you are a Notable Care subscriber. You also get account access to Notable Themes exclusive member community, which is not just merely a Facebook group. I like Facebook groups, don't get me wrong, but this is actually an area we can go in and you can post and request new features. You can also request completely new products. So if there's a plugin that doesn't exist out there in the marketplace, post it here in the member community, and we'll take it very seriously. In fact, what we've got built into our member community is the ability for other members to upvote specific requests. So when we start seeing a request getting traction, we take it very seriously. One specific example would be that we had a lot of people upvoting and requesting ConvertKit integration into our themes and plugins. And so guess what we've done? We've integrated ConvertKit with our themes and plugins. Lastly, we're going to give you access to the Mastering WordPress video course, which is a $200 course, which teaches you step-by-step how to use WordPress. So you can watch the whole course and become a master of WordPress, or just watch individual videos if you ever get stuck. So all the training you need to learn how to use WordPress efficiently. So I'm going to tell you here about how to get Notable Care along with the Authority theme here today. And if you do that, I'm going to give you some bonuses. So there's some things I'm going to toss in here to make your website sing. These are tools and resources that Ray is also using over at rayedwards.com. So number one, I'm going to give you the Affiliate Boxes plugin. So a question we get pretty regularly is, how do I create one of those resources page that lists out all my recommended, services and tools and books and, my affiliate links? Well, the Affiliate Boxes plugin helps you to create a page just like that really easily. It also allows you to track views and clicks. So you can track which specific affiliates are performing the best. It enables you to earn passive affiliate commission. And of course, you get to do that nice and easy with this plugin. We're going to give you a 5-site license, which we charge $297 for. Bonus 2, we've got a second plugin that people have really found valuable, which enables you to create these things called exit offer. So you've probably seen these across the internet. The problem with most of them, though, is that they either interrupt you or they're just ugly pop-ups and they don't match your website. Exit offer has been specifically crafted to create squeeze pages. So little, full-size pages that are much prettier. They're easier to work with. And you can also double these as an exit offer so that when somebody is preparing to leave your website, it deploys that offer so you can heighten the number of conversions that you're getting for people who otherwise would have just left your website. Now you can implement these, and this is another thing that's implemented with the Exit Offer plugin is direct integration with ConvertKit. So it's super easy to set up. And again, as it says here, it makes it easy to capture emails of those preparing to leave your site. One of the neatest things, though, that we've worked in with Exit Offer is it enables you to target specific areas of your site. So let's say, for example, you've got a category on your blog for productivity. You've got a category on your blog for leadership. You can create a separate exit offer that deploys only on those categories. So you can build different segments of your list and interest areas in your list with the Exit Offer plugin. Again, we're going to give you a 5-site license, and this is $297, what we usually charge for that. And lastly, this is live only. So if you decide to get the Authority theme along with Notable Care today, while we are live today, I'm going to give you my list building masterclass. So this is something I have developed after working with Ray and Michael Hyatt and Grant Baldwin and Jeff Goins and other people in the industry who are building email-centric businesses, email list-centric businesses. And so this masterclass is going to cover a number of different things. This is going to teach you how to learn the email list building fundamentals, what it means to create a good squeeze page, a good lead magnet, and things that are essential. Different tactics that we've built into the Authority theme and even other themes I've built in terms of dramatically increasing the number of monthly email subscribers you're getting. Now, the best part about this, however, is I'm going to teach you how to do this in a fully automated way. I've actually created workflows and have found the specific tools that makes it simple to make an automated sequence that builds your email list and even make sales while you sleep. So this is going to be a step-by-step video tutorial and training where I'm actually going to show you. You're going to watch my desktop just like we did in the demo here today. I'm going to show you how to build specific things, and that's all with yours truly. So I charge $997 for enrollment in this masterclass. It is not currently open. You cannot currently register for the masterclass, but you're going to get that absolutely free if you register or if you buy the Authority theme today with Notable Care while we are live. So you got to be live to get this third bonus. Okay. So again, I'm going to tell you here how to get Authority theme and Notable Care. So you got some options before you today. Number one is you can spend countless hours, days, and weeks building a business site with another theme. Trust me, I've tried, I've done it. Or you can spend $5,000 to $10,000 or even more. You can spend over 10. I've seen some people who spend $20,000 on a website to build their business. You can spend $5,000 to $10,000 on a designer and a developer, or you can get the Authority theme for just $397 and Notable Care for just $29 a month. So here in just a moment, you should see a button appear below this video. And if you click that button, you can go ahead and get registered right away to get Authority theme as well as Notable Care. So remember, all those bonuses are going to be available to you if you get the Authority theme while this page is still available. So what you see here is we've got the Authority theme. The single site license is $397. And then we have a 5-site license that we're offering as well. So if you want to create, if you've got another business that you're creating, it's a great way to save a little bit of money. So you don't necessarily have to go through and, buy 5 different licenses or 3 different licenses. If you want to use this for multiple sites, again, that makes it really easy for you to do. So those bonuses are available to you today if you get Authority theme and Notable Care. And again, that third bonus that we have is only available to those who decide to get Authority theme while we are live. And one of the other things we always like to mention as well is that we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So sometimes we get the question, well, what if I try it and I don't really like it? All of our themes, all of our plugins have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and we're not happy unless you are. We want you to install this theme, work with this theme, build your website, and we want this thing to start paying for itself. Again, I've had many people who I've worked with in the past who have spent thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars to get websites with this level of functionality. And to them, it was well worth the investment because they're seeing these websites starting to build their business. Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause, get a quick glass of water, and then I'm going to go through and start answering some of your questions. So if you have any questions related to the Authority theme, feel free to pop those in now, or any questions in general. It's building an online business or what we're doing over at rayedwards.com. I do have some questions that were submitted. There were a lot that were submitted prior to this workshop. So I'm going to go ahead and plow through a few of those first. In the meantime, if you have any other questions, we'll get to that here in a moment. Again, I'm going to take a brief pause, get some water, and then I'm going to get back and start hammering in through some of those questions that were pre-submitted. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start plowing through some of these questions. Again, we got a lot before we actually started this workshop, so I'm going to start going through as many as I can. Again, if you have some questions, I'm going to try to answer some live ones as well. We've got a ton of them in here, but I'm going to see how many I can plow through. Donna asks, what plugins do I need and how do I make money from affiliates? So it's a great question, and we did cover this a little bit with the Affiliate Boxes plugin. A great plugin to use, obviously, is Affiliate Boxes, but creating a resources page is a great way to start building affiliate commission. Now, what I always like to recommend when you're creating your affiliate pages is to make them really useful to the people who are in your target market. Like, for example, if you do if you're like me and you sell design services, or I don't know, let's use a different one. Let's say you're a gym. It wouldn't really make much sense to offer, affiliates for a t-shirt unless it's specific to the type of t-shirt. Or let's say that, you run a gym and you have an affiliate link to, a leadership book or a business book. It doesn't quite fit. So you just want to make sure that those links actually fit to or apply to what you're doing. So I'll show you a quick example of this. I have over at rightlydesign.com. I've got one of these set up with exit offer, with affiliate boxes. So if you pop on down to the bottom of Rightly Designed, I've got one here, resources. And again, it's just nice and simple. It's got a nice image off to the left and makes it really simple for people to be able to see the specific tools and resources that I recommend. Okay, Paul asks, what are the top plugins you recommend for the website? So the specific plugins I typically recommend are, you want to make sure that you have some sort of security built in. So iThemes security is a great plugin. Try that one. Again, it's free. Great thing out there is that, or the great thing about WordPress is a lot of these plugins are free. So you can just go in there and install them and start using them. Another one I like to recommend, if you're not going to use something like Notable Care that has automatic site backups, then definitely install some sort of backup plugin. I cannot tell you how essential this is. And not only is it important for you to install a backup plugin, make sure that you have a game plan for how to recover, data if you lose it. If you lose a post, or if, heaven forbid, the server crashes or something, make sure that you have a contingency plan and make sure that you have multiple backups if possible. There's one called Backup WordPress, all one word, that you can use, which works great, and it's free as well. Okay, Curtis asks, can I outsource to you to create my website? You can. What we actually do at Notable Care is we set up the website for you in terms of installing WordPress. So WordPress is all ready for you. Then we install your theme. Now from there, you get to go in and customize your site to your heart's content. So you get to pick the typography and color scheme. We already went through how easy a Notable Themes product is to set up, specifically Authority. So you can just pop right in there and customize it yourself. Now, what we do have is we've got an add-on service. So if you want one of our techs and one of our WordPress experts to go in there and configure the site for you, we are more than happy to do that. So that is an add-on service. We don't do any graphic design. So we don't design header images or logos for you or anything like that. But if you want us to set up your welcome page for you, if you want us to set up and configure your widgets and the layout and the color and the typography, we do have an add-on service that enables us to do that for you. Lowell asks, as a low-tech baby boomer, how do I get help when I have a question during my setup process? Again, I'll point you back to Notable Care. Notable Care is just going to make it super easy. If you ever get stuck, you can always ask us a question. We have ongoing support. We've got pros that just love to help people. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story. Last conference I was at Tribe with Jeff Goins, and I had multiple people come up to me and say that the support that you guys offer is literally the best support I have ever received. So that's not an exaggeration. This is actually what people were telling me. So we've just got people that love WordPress, love working with WordPress, and just love to help. Okay, so going through some more plugins. Okay, so Jane asks, what's the best way to build an email list? Building an email list, there's not really, I wouldn't say there's really a best way. The best way to build an email list is just to do as much as you possibly can to build your email list. So what do I mean by that? Number one, optimize your website for conversions. So the way that we've built Authority Theme, for example, is that, remember that top right-hand navigation item is a link to sign someone up for a workshop. The hero image is clickable so that somebody can jump on over to a workshop and sign up. It's got a secondary CTA that's site-wide and placed in strategic places to help get conversions. So again, it's doing a lot of things. I'm not going to get too far into this. This would be a different workshop altogether, but you can pour Facebook ads onto his squeeze page to workshop to register for a workshop. That's a strategy right now that's working really well. If you've got the right message and if you've got the right offer that you are showing to that Facebook traffic, Facebook allows you to get really targeted. Okay, so let's see, more questions. Laura asks, where and how do you find a good website designer? This probably sounds silly, but I've seen several friends go through really awful experiences with companies that were highly referred to them. So obviously I am a graphic designer and a website developer, and I've had the chance to work with, I mentioned some of the people I have worked with, and here's kind of what I hear from most people who have worked with other designers and developers in the past. Number one is that they don't communicate well. And number two, they focus too much on the aesthetic aspect of what we're working on. So don't get me wrong, when it comes to working on design, looking pretty is important, but it's about 10% of the equation. I know this, you probably heard this question or this phrase before from Steve Jobs, but he said that design isn't about how it looks, it's about how it works. So with every theme and every website and everything that we create here, the goal isn't just merely to get something that looks pretty. I think this is where about 99.9% of WordPress themes fall down. Their goal is to make it look pretty. Their goal is to make it look pretty rather than helping you build your business. So one of the things I always like to, one of the quotes I always mention as I'm talking with different people, and what makes authority different or what makes this particular website different? I said, most websites are business cards. They're not businesses. A business card does a great job of telling you who somebody is, doesn't do a great job of selling them. Now, a good website, on the other hand, can actually make sales for you. That's how you know you've got a website that has been designed to accomplish specific goals. Okay, so we got a lot of live questions, so let's go ahead and pop on over to some of those. Will the authority theme, let's see, David asks, will the authority theme have the capability to carry podcasts? So the answer is yes. It doesn't have the built-in functionality to carry podcasts. And the reason is because there's actually a number of plugins out there that do a really good job, and we didn't really want to reinvent the wheel. So Ray uses the Smart Podcast Player by Pat Flynn, which is a great one. So, and this integrates, as you see, Ray does have a podcast. Let's take a look at Ray's website. And it integrates it integrates great with authority. So we're jumping on over to Ray's website, and you can see here's his latest podcast episode, and he's got it embedded in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So he's got it embedded right here so somebody can play. And then again, this all connects to iTunes and all the different places that his podcast goes out to. Another one you can try as well, which is free, is called Blubrry. Let's see if I can pull it up. Blubrry podcast. This one's totally free. It's one I used a while back. So yeah, it's called Blubrry Podcasting. Check that one out, free as well. And it integrates just like this one as well. It integrates seamlessly with the authority theme. Okay. We've got another question in here. When will the Notable theme be available? Oh, I have to leave this workshop early, so I might not be able to see the answer to this question. So yeah, it's available here right now. So if you want to get the authority theme, there should be a green button right below this video. Click that, get signed up. If you do, you get all three of those bonuses. If you can't make it, if you're not here for the end of the live broadcast, we're still going to have the authority theme available to you. Just some of those bonuses will be going away. Okay, so we've got a question here from Troy, who asks, do you have any recommendations for who, where, how to make a custom banner images? So there's some options. You can hire a custom developer or custom designer. I'm not personally available at the moment for handling custom design of this type. I'm mainly working with Notable themes and building some other client sites right now. However, there are some solutions out there. So you can use something like Canva is a great tool to just set something up. To kind of get started. I know that 99 Designs is an option. You can also check out Odesk, I think is what it is. I think they may have recently changed their name, but there's a ton of different places out there and marketplaces that you can use to get those created. What I would recommend in terms of the hero banner, what I think is really going to be worth it for you is do what Ray did and definitely hire a professional photographer. You can see it's just a wonderful photo of Ray. And then it's just a matter of finding somebody to just lay text over the top of this. And maybe it's just something as simple. You don't even necessarily have to do this to start. You can do even just your name, your slogan, your tagline, show people who you are, and even still just make this thing clickable so that people can get your call to action. Because even if you look over at this particular podcast, for example, there's no button here or anything. I mean, it does have, the name of his workshop, but you can still click this and he's still getting email signups through that. Let's see here. Elisa asked, in the widgets, can it be customized from products to offers? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by products and offers. What you can do is it's pretty open-ended. So what it's doing here for the product, from the product's perspective, so let's take a look over at Ray's website, is it's just showcasing some simple things. And you can really do whatever you want with this. So it's got an image, a headline, some copy, and a button. Now, it is designed for products, but it doesn't have to just use products. You can use affiliates. Again, you can link this off to, if you've got a course that you offer over at Teachable or Thinkific or something like that, you can link directly to that sales page and to that course. The nice thing about this is it's just kind of here to recap the specific products that you're offering, not necessarily to have to integrate an entire online shopping system to get this thing up and running. You can actually just go through here and just link to specific things. And like I said, if you don't have any products yet, just put some affiliate links in here. It's a great way to be able to showcase those really easily. Okay, so Kevin asks, how does the authority page differ from Mentoris? So Mentoris is a theme that we had created previously, which is similar in some ways in terms of the market, that it's kind of crafted for some of the features that are built into it. What you can think of authority as, authority is kind of like the Mentoris theme, but on steroids. So it's got the products, it's got the events, it's got the widgetized pages, the welcome functionality. So it's got a lot of the similar features that Mentoris does, but probably about 5 times more. So it's very similar. If you're familiar with Mentoris, it's very similar theme, but like I said, it does a whole bunch more. Tara asks, will this tutorial be available for review after I purchase the theme? The answer is yes. So this will be available as a replay for a limited time after we stop here today. It will be available a little bit later on today as a replay. So you will be able to go through. I know I talk kind of fast sometimes, and I know the tutorial went really quick, but you will have the opportunity to go back through any of the items that we've already covered. You'll be able to go back through. And one of the questions was, to review after I purchase the theme. What I will also do for you, since this does kind of double as a tutorial, if you purchase Authority, we'll go ahead and give you a permanent link to this as well. So you only get that if you purchase the theme. You're going to be able to have this as a secondary tutorial. But the page itself for this live workshop will be disappearing probably early next week. Okay, so let's see. Kristen asks, can we change the theme colors when we use the theme? Yes. I'm sorry, thanks. And so the answer is yes. So you can go in, and one of the things that we took a look at as we were going through our demo, if you want to change the site colors, all you got to do is pop up to Customize. Go into the color palette, and you see here, it's just a matter of changing these colors to change the overall look and feel of your website. And again, to kind of recap, you can also change the typography, and you've got hundreds of different Google fonts that you can choose from. And we're going to be adding more fonts in there as time goes on. That's the great thing about Authority theme. It's always evolving, it's always growing, and it's always improving. Okay, so I noticed Matt asks, I noticed Ray's podcast page, he uses Pat Flynn's podcast player. Will this integrate with PowerPress? And can I get rid of the big gap like what I see under his player? So the answer is some of that may have to do with, I think, actually formatting in the post. So sometimes WordPress has a funny way of adding extra spacing under a post. So the answer is yes, you can get rid of that spacing. In terms of PowerPress, I'm not sure if that's different from Blueberry. If it's different from Blueberry, I don't know. I typically recommend Blueberry because it's just got a ton of features. I've used it personally on a couple of different podcasts I did in the past, and it worked really great. So I'd recommend that one. So to answer your question, if PowerPress is different than Blueberry, I don't know right off the cuff. We can't always support all third-party plugins until we've tested them ourselves. Again, Authority Theme is built to WordPress standard specifications, so I can tell you that, but I cannot say, I've not personally worked with PowerPress unless, again, you're talking about Blueberry. Kevin asked, I have 2 businesses. Can I use the site for both my business with one subscription? The answer is yes. So if you want to do this, you just need to use the get the 5-site license. This is going to enable you to, it's essentially what it's going to do is what you're purchasing is a license key. So if you purchase the single site license for $397, you're going to get a license key that will enable you to activate that theme one time. If you buy the 5-site license, you're going to get a different type of license key that's going to enable you to activate the theme on up to 5 different websites. So that's how that works. Again, if you've got anything more than one site that you want to use, I highly recommend the 5-site license enabled to do that. I just changed hosting to WP Engine for hosting a couple of months ago. If I change to Notable Care today, do I lose all my hosting costs I paid to them? So what it would be, oh, I'm sorry, this question is from Robbie. So Robbie asks about WP Engine. So the way this works is that if you've already got a site that you have hosted with a different host, you can set this up on Notable Care, and then we have an add-on service where we migrate your content for you. Now, if you switch to Notable Care, unless you've got another service that you're paying for, like email or domains or something like that, I'm not sure all that WP Engine offers. But if you switch to Notable Care, you should be able to, once your site is up and live on our Notable Care hosting, you should be able to cancel that. However, that does depend upon if you have any other services that you're paying. I can't speak to that. But the whole idea with Notable Care hosting is that it takes care of all the hosting for you. So in terms of your website being up and running on our hosting, you don't need a secondary host for any reason unless, again, you are offering some sort of, they got another service that you're getting through them. Kristen asks, does Notable Care include hosting? So is there no need to get any other hosting? Will you transfer my domain? So we covered that there just a little bit. Notable Care does include hosting, and we do have the ability to transfer over your site for you. So we do offer that as an add-on service, a one-time fee. I think it's just $97. Check with our support team, support@notablethemes.com if you have any questions related to that. But there's a one-time fee to transfer everything over, or we can set up WordPress for you, give you the keys, so to speak, to the WordPress site. And then there's a number of plugins that we can recommend. My support guy, one of my support guys actually has info on one of the really good plugin that enables you to port over content. So you can check out that one. If we decide to, I'm sorry, Laura asked, if we decide to buy the single site option today and then love how easy it is to work with you, can we upgrade to the 5-site license later for today's price? So the answer to this question is yes, we'd be happy to do that for you. Just send us an email at support@notablethemes.com and we'll let you we'll let you upgrade to the 5-site license. That's only going to be true if you are watching with us live or if you're a part of this workshop. So no other time are we going to honor that. But yep, we'd be happy to do that if you purchase today and you decide that you want to upgrade to 5-site license. We'll go ahead and allow you to do that. No problems there. I'm going to take a quick water break. Okay, so Michael asks, what about auto updates and security? Great question. So auto updates are built into Notable Care. So if you have a Notable Care, a site hosted with us at Notable Care, those security or site updates, WordPress specific updates, again, not all the plugin updates, those you still have to do on a regular basis. But auto updates are done regularly through the hosting. Now, security, there is some hosting or some security built into Notable Care. However, what I typically recommend is a plugin that's totally free called iTheme Security. So iTheme Security just makes it really simple to set up some basic options where you can jump in there and, configure kind of how crazy you want to get with it, firewall settings, but it just gives you some basic things to start with. in terms of making sure that your site isn't getting hacked or hit with DDoS attacks or anything like that. And you can pay for their pro version, which I think includes some security monitoring and things like that. So check that out. iTheme Security is what it's called. It's a great plugin, easy to set up, free to start. Let's see. Melanie asks, I have a brand new business, so I don't have a lot of content created, social proof videos or professional pictures. Does this make sense for me to even worry about this right now? So what I would say is that what we've demoed with Ray is a little bit more tailored to somebody who's got a little bit of a platform, obviously some social following and that sort of thing. However, it is not specific to that. If you're just now getting started, even if you don't have an email list, the Authority theme is actually a great way to get started. The thing is, you don't even have to go out and get professional photography taken. Even if you get a really nice photo, even with your smartphone, again, I'm continually amazed the quality of photos you can get even out of a smartphone these days. But the Authority theme just makes it really easy to get started. So again, with that course that I'm offering as a bonus, I talk specifically, and it even includes some templates and things to help you get started, for how to create a nice lead magnet, set up those CTAs we went through. Even the bare bones of what Authority theme offers and delivers to you is going to be leagues ahead of anything that you can get out there starting for free. So if you're able to, I typically recommend, it's a great option for somebody who's ready to go pro. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have a huge email list. It just means that you're ready to go pro. So, and you want a theme that's going to help you right out the gate with converting visitors into subscribers and subscribers into customers. Okay, Tom asks, what tutorial comes with the Authority theme? So we actually have a tutorial set up right now. So if you click that link right below this video, there's actually a tutorial set up on that page right now. So that's one of the things we have available. We also, like I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and set this up eventually to be a tutorial in and of itself. So if you purchase the Authority theme, you'll have this tutorial available to you. In addition to that, in the next maybe month or so, what I have slated out is I'm actually going to be creating an actual video course. So that's going to walk through every single feature of Authority. I'm going to walk through in great detail, and that's going to be a course that's offered to you for free if you are a Notable Care subscriber. So we're part of being, and this is just kind of a sneak peek, we haven't even actually officially announced this yet, except for here, obviously. We're going to start integrating video training and tutorials into Notable Care. So if you're a Notable Care subscriber, you're going to get free access to all of that training. It used to be there's other themes out there in the marketplace that didn't offer any training like this at all. So you literally have to go out there and buy training for the theme that you're purchasing. What we're doing is we're just going to continually add training into our Notable Care plugin and our Notable Care subscription service so that you have the latest. This will also be a way that will let you know, like, as we add a new feature, we'll show you how to use it. So it's not just a one-time deal. It's kind of ongoing video training. And again, we don't have that ready quite yet, but that'll be coming in upcoming months. Tara asks, so hosting is included, or do I need to set up hosting with WordPress and one-on-one? So it's totally up to you. Like I said, we have hosting included 100% into Notable Care. However, if you do not have to use Notable Care. So I want to make that abundantly clear. This WordPress theme will work on any WordPress specific hosting. So if you use Bluehost or WP Engine or One-in-One, I think was what you mentioned, or one of these other hosting companies, Authority theme will work on that. What we're specifically offering today is Authority with Notable Care, and if you get both of those, you get the bonuses today. However, if you just want the Authority theme and you want to install it on your own host, it's 100% available for you to do that today. Kathleen asks, this only works if you already have a website, right? Or does this include the website? So Authority theme works if you're starting from scratch and you want to set up a website just like I did here today, you can do that 100%. So in some ways, if you have zero content and you do not have a website yet, this is actually a really great way to get started, because if you already have content, you're going to actually have to jump in there and do some sort of migration. So whether we do it for you or you do it yourself, there's still a little bit of migration that has to take place to make sure that content works in the new theme. Another thing that you can do if you're already using WordPress and you already have posts on your WordPress website is you can actually install our Notable Themes plugin after you've purchased Authority. Then you can install the Authority theme. And once you've done that, your content is already there. So that's another way that you can do it. But the question was about if you don't have a website, the Authority theme is an excellent way to get started. Laura asks, can you give us a ballpark idea of the cost to have your company just do this work for us? What we do have is a service. I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but if you wanted us to set up the site for you, this doesn't include design. So if you wanted to have a header graphic designed or a logo designed, you'd want to go to another service to have that created for you. But we do have a service where we will, within Notable Care, we'll take care of the hosting, we'll set everything up for you, we'll install the theme, and we'll even configure everything for you. So we'll configure the welcome page, the color palette, the sidebar widgets, we'll configure, we'll do all the settings for you so you can just get up and running with the theme, and you can just start publishing content. So that is an add-on service. I believe it is $497. So $497, a one-time fee for one of our professionals to go in there, work with you one-on-one and set that up for you. Robert asks, is there any special pricing for 2 licenses? I don't need or can afford 5. So we offer just that 5-site license, which includes up to 5 installs of the site. So we do that specifically because it's essentially the pricing for the 5-site license is about the cost of 2. So if you ever want to extend to 3 sites or 4, there's a lot of savings in that. So those are the 2 options that we have available for you today: a single site license at $397 or a 5-site license for $797. And just so you know, we are actually considering, just because usually the pricing for this is so incredibly low, we're actually considering raising it in the future. So that's still kind of in the air. We're not 100% sure. But for a website of this quality, it's a pretty remarkable deal. So Michael asks, does it work with site builders? So this theme does not work with site builders specifically, and that's actually a good thing. So I have worked with site builders in the past, and they have caused me quite a bit of heartache. They're very difficult to work with. One of my biggest problems with site builders is that they just dramatically slow down a website. All the websites I've worked with site builders just add so much bulk to the code, where if you're not hosting it on some amazingly killer fast server, it just slows everything down. So the nice thing about Authority is that we've actually built a lot of this functionality right there into the widgets, the widgets portion of the actual customizer. So the great thing is that we've removed the need for a huge page builder, and instead we've created widgetized pages which enable you to create and build out pages with widgets that solve specific problems. And here's another thing I didn't mention within the live portion of the live demo, is that one of the things that we're actually going to be continually adding to the Authority theme is new widgets for those widgetized pages. So eventually we may be doing some different calls to action, pricing structures. So if you have, specific pricing packages you offer, those are one of the things we may eventually be adding. And again, you're always welcome to, as a member of our member community, you can jump in there and request new specific widgets that we add to that widget page builder. But one of the benefits to having this built into widgets, as opposed to installing a third-party plugin that adds page builder functionality, is that it's a much lighter weight on the website. Since we're working within widgets, again, this is already the built-in functionality of WordPress, and we're just tapping into it, as opposed to installing something that's 100% a new framework on top of what WordPress already is. So this is how plugins can start to weigh down websites. So widgetized pages kind of solves that problem. Elisa asks, Thomas, I'm an independent contractor for a travel agency, and I'm in the discovery stage on this website, social media, and blogging. I don't know if I can actually have my own website. It is something I need to follow up with my host agency, and do not want to lose out on this offer. Any options? So we've got a question there. Yeah, feel free to just go ahead and send us an email. this option is still going to be available for a limited time. But just send us an email and we'll see if we can work something out for you. So I'm going through here just to see if we have any last minute questions. I think I may have missed some because there were a lot in here. Let's see. I'm going to take a quick water break. If you have any other questions, feel free to stick them in there. I want to make sure I answer as many questions as I can while we're live. So I'm going to go ahead and take just a quick water break and go through some of the questions. Okay, so we got some more questions coming in here. All right, so Kathleen says, I just looked at the purchase page. The site and the hosting are purchased on 2 separate pages. Is that right? I don't see one page that includes both. Thanks. Yep, that's right. So let's go ahead and I'll just show you real quick while we are live. Let's take a look here. So when you click that link that's below this video, it should take you to this page. You should see this page. So it brings you over here, and all you have to do, and again, this is that nice demo video we have set up. So just click, you can click buy now. It's going to scroll you down, and then right here, you should be able to instantly snag the theme. You can pick obviously you want to make sure you agree to the licensing agreement. You can pick which license type you want, and then you just go ahead and fill in your info and buy it there. For Notable Care, you're 100% correct. If you pop over to you click the subscribe button, and it's going to open up a new tab. And so if you scroll down here, that's actually where you're going to be able to subscribe to Notable Care. So we apologize for a little bit of the workaround that's required there. But yeah, it's just an extra page. And so long as you get both while you're live on this webinar, we're going to credit that for you. So you don't have to worry about whether or not you get it. We're going to make sure that you get those bonuses that we had mentioned previously. Okay. More questions. Okay, so Tara asks, how long do we have to decide to upgrade? Is there a code we need to use? Should we decide to do so? No code needed. We can actually see when you registered or when you purchased Authority and become a subscriber. So just reference to our support team. Just go ahead and tell us that you wanted to upgrade, that you were on the original workshop, and excuse me, we'll go ahead and work that out for you. Stephanie asks, can you go over the bonuses again? I had to step away and miss them. Yep, absolutely. So let's pop back over to the bonuses. So let's take a look here. So the first bonus was the Affiliate Boxes plugin. So what this is going to do for you is it's going to create affiliate pages for you really easily. So I demoed one earlier that's going to be able to show you the specific, it's going to list out all the recommended resources that you want to provide for people. And it's just a great way to organize your affiliate links and to track the clicks and views that you're getting on that. We're offering a 5-site license, $297 value. You're going to get that absolutely free if you get the Authority theme along with becoming a Notable Care subscriber. The second is Exit Offer. And you know what? Let me go ahead and actually just kind of show you these since we didn't do that earlier. Exit Offer enables you to do an exit intent style pop-up that works like a squeeze page. And they also double as squeeze pages. Again, this one's $297 value. And the third thing, and again, this is only if you're live with us here today. If you're live with us here today, you get my list building masterclass, which teaches you how to set up an automated list building system. This is a $1,000 course that you get free if you purchase while we are still live here today. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and show these to you real quick. I already showed a little bit earlier. This is an example of the Affiliate Boxes plugin. So this is, pulling in a number of the affiliates that I'm personally a part of. Here's another example as well. If we go over to rayedwards.com, and we pop over to one of his podcasts, you can see that over here in the right-hand sidebar, we've got a nice big banner here for the authority theme. And this has been integrated directly from with affiliate boxes. So that's all worked in right there. And then let's take a look at how Exit Offer works. So if we went to rayedwards.com with a new browser window, see that's going to redirect us to his welcome page. But if I show exit intent, actually it's not working because I already did this earlier. I forgot. Oh, there we go. So now you see it deploys this nice big squeeze page for Ray, his live workshop that he's currently doing. And we just set this up in a couple of minutes with the Exit Offer plugin. So really useful, really easy to use. Again, $297 value. You can get that absolutely free if you decide to sign up for the authority theme as well as Notable Care. Okay. So let's pop back over to the Q&A just to see if there's any few last straggling questions. I think there may have been some other ones I missed from earlier. Let's take a look here. Gary asks, I was thinking of using a separate resources page on my WP site to list all the tools I use in my business with affiliate links embedded with each of the tools and a brief description. What do you think of this new approach to adding affiliate links to the website, or do you have a better suggestion? So that is the perfect question. So yeah, I would definitely recommend affiliate boxes. Makes that process really, really easy. And one of the things that a lot of people have found useful with affiliate boxes is that it's got the views and the clicks. So that's really interesting insight to be able to get, because a lot of people go through and they just create one of those pages with just the standard WordPress editor, and it just takes a lot more work to do. And you miss out on the clicks. So you don't really get to see which ones are performing as well, which is really helpful to know. I've actually rearranged the order sometimes of my affiliates, specifically because I see others performing better. Christine asked, how do I use lead pages and Shopify to fit within this training? So if you're using any third-party services, the great thing about the authority theme is that you can actually link to them within your product section. Now, I do know that Lead Pages has a plugin for WordPress, which does work with authority. So for example, I don't have one off the top of my head that Ray was using, but Ray does himself use Lead Pages with his theme, and it integrates pretty seamlessly. So if you want to use create something in Lead Pages and have it work with your site, you can do that really easily. In terms of Shopify, there's no real connectivity that I know of that you can use. However, what you can do is you can feature some of your specific products within the products area of authority. And then you can just, you can kind of highlight those and link to them. So like, let's say, for example, he was offering authority through Shopify. He could just link specifically to that page within his product sections. Because one of the things we've noticed is a lot of online businesses and entrepreneurs, they tend to use a lot of different services. Like we at Notable Themes use Gumroad. Some people like to use Samcart. Other people use, Thinkific or now what's the Teachable. So a lot of different services and products that are kind of scattered out there on the internet. What we wanted to do is we didn't really want to try to, mesh all of those things into one website, which could become incredibly complicated, cumbersome, and difficult, and even pose some security risks. Instead, we just wanted to make it easy for you to highlight all of those things in one place within your website. So let's see, some more questions. Okay, so, sorry, we already answered that one. So Phil asks, what are the key things I should do to make it my site attractive to future clients? So one of the things I like to recommend, and I touched on this earlier, is that you want to make sure that I like to always kind of promote function over form, meaning it's important for your website to look nice, but it's more important for it to function properly. So one of the things we've tried to do with authority is we've tried to make it super easy to set up something that looks really nice, and then you can kind of evolve that over time. So like I said, if you don't have the budget or the ability right now to be able to go out and hire a photographer for something like what Ray has done, you can at least start with a nice image. Even if it's something taken with your phone, you can start, and you can always improve over time. The thing that you can kind of rest easy in is knowing that the tactical aspects of the website are already in place. Those things are more important than having something that looks pretty. A lot of people will go and they'll spend hours and weeks and months creating something with a multi-purpose website only to find that it's not converting, it's not building an email list, it's not helping them sell products. So then they have to start from scratch. The nice thing with starting with functionality and business building features first is that then you can work later to making sure that as over time you'll be able to do a nice picture, you'll have a logo designed and other things kind of worked into it. Okay, so let's pop up. So answer just a few more questions here. And then we're going to end this live broadcast. So if you have not already, remember our third bonus, which is a near $1,000 course, is only going to be available for you if you purchase while we're live. So that time is just about up. So we're probably going to give you about another 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops. But if you haven't already, make sure you scroll down. You can click that button and get registered. So this is just about to end here. I'm just going to answer a couple more questions. If there is a question that you have that I didn't get to live here on the workshop, just send us an email at support@notablecare.com, support@notablethemes.com, and we'd be happy to help. So I want to make sure we get all those questions answered, even if I wasn't able to get through all of them live. Okay. So Thomas asks, how do I integrate this with shopping cart apps like JVZoo and etc.? What I typically recommend, again, is utilize the products feature in here to link to any of the third-party apps or services that you are using. Norvin asks, how do I start a personal online business platform? So that goes a little bit beyond a website. A website is important, but that kind of goes beyond the website itself. That's really a strategy that you have to start kind of honing in on, and exactly who's your target market, who you're trying to reach, what specific problems are you solving, and how are you going to solve those problems, whether that's going to be through creating a podcast, or that's going to be through specifically an email list or blog posts or videos, and how are you going to turn that in? Are you going to turn that into digital products and that sort of thing? So that's a question that goes a little bit outside the website. The website is pivotal to that, but definitely a website isn't in and of itself your platform. It's kind of the home base for your platform. Hopefully that makes sense. Suzanne asks, what plugins are must-haves as far as building great WP websites? So we touched on this a little bit earlier. I always recommend that you have a security plugin of some sort. Make sure that you have some sort of backup plugin. Those things are incredibly important. You want to make sure you have those. And beyond that, when it comes to plugins, I always recommend just find whatever is going to solve specific problems for you. So don't install plugins just for the sake of installing plugins, because again, they can start to weigh down your website. So make sure that the plugins that you're installing solve specific problems. What I always like to say is that, if there's something your WordPress website needs to do beyond what it does, search the WordPress repository, see if there's a good one that's got good ratings, and then test it out a little bit. That's a good way to approach that. Jane asks, what is the best way to build an email list? I think we touched on this one a little bit earlier, but again, this is something we're going to cover in that masterclass, and the authority theme is really going to help with that process. Let's see here. I think that just about does it. I'm going to take one last look. We had a lot of questions coming at once, so if I missed your question, I apologize. A lot came in at once, so let's see here. Jim asks, how do I create the store side of the website so I can accept credit cards and PayPal? So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. I would recommend, there's a lot of different third-party services that work great for collecting payments. For most people, I don't recommend accepting payment directly on your website unless you have, for one, you have to have an SSL certificate installed. So if you're not familiar with that, it's the thing that shows the HTTPS before the web address. Security is a huge question mark when it comes to accepting payments. So some things that you can do. A lot of the third-party services out there enable you to collect payments through them. So like, for example, Teachable, if you're offering online courses, does that. Samcard is another good one. We also use Gumroad. So Gumroad actually collects payment for us, and we just embed their checkout form right there on our website. So there's a lot of different options out there, but again, you just want to make sure that whatever you're using is secure. So I think that is it. If I missed your question, I apologize. I know there were a lot that we got before the workshop started. and then a lot more poured in afterwards. I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to go through this workshop with us. We always have a lot of fun doing these and demoing a site live. We look forward to being in touch with you as we kind of continue to build features and add more things. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed over at Notable Themes. Sign up for our free course because we're always doing trainings and releasing new products, some free, some not, but always building things to help you build your online business. Excuse me. So thanks again. My name is Thomas McGee. Again, I'm the founder of Notable Themes, and I look forward to working with you more in the future. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.